An ER nurse from Cardinal Glennon hailed a hero. Quick action by a Cardinal Glennon nurse on board a plane may have helped save the life of a very sick baby. It happened last night as the nurse was flying back to St. Louis after a week of volunteer work overseas.
Well, I was on my way home from a week's work of medical outreach in Cambodia. And we were about 10 hours into our 14-hour flight from Taiwan to Los Angeles when the captain put out a call over the speaker. And basically he said that they had a passenger that was in need of urgent medical attention. So me being a nurse for the past 6 years, I decided that I would, see if I could help. So I found a stewardess and she raced me up to business class, and there I found this dad, and in his arms was this tiny little baby. And I could tell right away by looking at him that he was severely sick. He could hardly breathe. He was very, very pale, and I knew that if he didn't get help immediately that he was going to die.
She was also fighting language barriers since it was an Asian airline.
We were like sprawled out and all over the floor, like drugs everywhere. They're translating to me like what it is. I'm telling them in English what I need.
I tried to put in an IV a couple times into the veins, and his little veins were just too small and he was too sick to hold the needle. So in an emergency like that, where you only have literally minutes before you can get somebody help into their veins, what you have to do is take a large needle and basically just screw it through their leg straight into the center of their bone, and then you can access their vascular system and give them fluids and medications and whatever they might need. And in the hospital setting, when you have all of the proper staff and equipment and the situation is, perfect in that sense, it's still a very challenging task to get that to work.
I was the only medical personnel on the entire plane, so I was all by myself, and I just honestly just said a prayer, and I just said, okay, God, it's me and you.
It just popped straight into the bone, and it was an absolute miracle. I think I was in shock. I'm sure that my face kind of went, oh, it actually worked. Kyle started getting some color back to him, and he started moving around and making some noise, and it made me feel good to actually hear him cry. And so I talked to the captain and told him I didn't think that Kyle had enough time to make it the rest of our 4 hours to Los Angeles.
The pilot made an emergency landing in Seattle, where the baby was rushed to the hospital.
And he survived, and he's doing well. And I still have contact with the family, and they texted me at Christmas and said, Merry Christmas from Kyle and family, everybody's doing well. Kind of looking back on that and just looking at how God orchestrated that whole situation. And I was in Cambodia on the other side of the world doing a medical outreach, and if that was the only reason that he had me go on that whole trip was to help Kyle, then it was so worth it. And he's bringing light into a dark place. And that's exactly what Christ did for me. He brought light into my dark life, and he will use us to continually shed light on the gospel and to continually outwork that in the world and to help his people. And if that's in a very small way or in a very large way, God will use us because that's the way that he works. It's just such a beautiful picture of the way God loves his children and how he will go to such great lengths to help one.